you ever imagined looking up at the sky and seeing another entire galaxy approaching ours? Like a silent threat? What if I told you that this could happen much sooner than science predicts? Sounds like something out of a movie, doesn't it? But believe me, this is one of the most real and frightening scenarios that the universe can offer us. The collision between the Milky Way and Andromeda is an inevitable fact, confirmed by the largest space observatories and scientific studies. For a long time, we believed that this meeting would only happen in about 4 billion years. However, new observations show that perhaps this deadline is not as comfortable as we thought. Changes in the approaching speed and gravitational behavior of the two galaxies indicate that something may be accelerating in the great cosmic ballet. Imagine the grandeur and terror of billions of stars, entire planetary systems, clouds of interstellar gas and supermassive black holes colliding and intertwining in a spectacle of destruction and creation. And we, small inhabitants of Earth, would be mere spectators of this fury of the cosmos. Would we survive this cataclysm? How would Earth react to the gravitational transformation of our galaxy? What's even more frightening is that while most of the universe is expanding, Andromeda is heading directly towards us, evidenced by a phenomenon called blue shift. This means that it is not moving away, but moving closer and quickly. Although in human terms these events seem distant, in cosmic terms, any acceleration of a few million years is a colossal and impactful difference. Think of the night sky lit not just by familiar stars, but by ribbons of light coming from Andromeda, entire systems being torn apart, new suns being born out of chaos, and the slow but powerful dance of two cosmic titans merging into a new galactic structure. Now imagine the impact of this on our solar system distortions and orbits, exposure to new sources of radiation, and even the possibility of being launched from our current position. This collision is not just a distant story written in the stars. She is real. And now, more than ever, we need to understand what this could mean for the future of Earth and the continuity of life as we know it. Are we prepared to accept our place in the uncontrollable immensity of the universe? If you are passionate about the mysteries of the cosmos and want to continue this journey through the inevitable encounter between the Milky Way and Andromeda, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. What we reveal next goes even deeper into the consequences of this colossal shock. Hold on tight, because the true journey into the heart of this cosmic disaster is just beginning. Although to us observers on Earth, the sky appears to be a fixed and unchanging stage, the reality is that the universe is in constant movement, orchestrating a slow, silent, and extremely powerful dance. The collision between the Milky Way and Andromeda is an inevitable part of this cosmic dance, and understanding how this process happens is fundamental to understanding the fate that awaits not only our galaxy but also our own solar system. Imagine space as a vast ocean of darkness, where gigantic luminous islands galaxies float slowly, pulled and pushed by the invisible currents of gravity. The Milky Way and Andromeda are two of these islands, and despite the immensity of space that separates them, they are approaching each other at an impressive speed, approximately 400 kilometers every second. To give you an idea, in just 1 minute, Andromeda approaches 70 times more than the distance between the cities of Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. This approach is not theory, it's scientific fact. Observations from telescopes such as Hubble have revealed a phenomenon called blue shift, a clear indication that Andromeda is not moving away as would be expected in an expanding universe, but rather getting closer. And what is even more fascinating, and at the same time frightening, is that the space between the galaxies is not an absolute void. It is filled with dark matter, interstellar gas, and particles that, although invisible to our eyes, exert significant gravitational influence. This invisible matter creates a cosmic web, a network that connects all the galaxies in the universe, shaping their movements and destinies. Within this network, the Milky Way and Andromeda remain trapped by relentless gravitational forces. This fatal dance is slow on the scale of a human lifetime, but in cosmic terms, it is an event that is unfolding at astonishing speed. When these galaxies finally collide, the scene will be majestic and terrifying. Although individual stars are separated by great distances and do not collide directly, the gravitational forces surrounding them will cause enormous distortions. Spiral arms will be torn apart, solar systems may be launched into new orbits or expelled into the interstellar void. The gaseous matter of galaxies will collide and trigger bursts of star formation of spectacular proportions. At the hearts of galaxies, supermassive black holes will play an even more dramatic role. They will be drawn together in a slow, intense spiral, eventually merging into a single, even more powerful entity, releasing gravitational waves that will travel across the universe, distorting the very fabric of space-time. A merger of such magnitude could generate effects that we have barely begun to understand. Our own solar system, this little blue jewel orbiting an average star, could be disrupted in unimaginable ways. The sun and the planets that surround it, including Earth, could be displaced from their stable positions, launched into dangerous regions of the resulting new galaxy, which already has a name, Andromeda. In extreme scenarios, we could even be expelled into intergalactic space, traveling aimlessly for immeasurable eons. And even though these effects seem distant, there are subtle signs that the dance has already begun to alter the structure of our galaxy. Stellar currents, groupings of stars, and small gravitational oscillations suggest that Andromeda's approach is already influencing our surroundings. The evidence is slowly emerging, like notes in a cosmic symphony that heralds the inevitable. The beauty of this collision, seen from afar, would be breathtaking night skies ripped by brilliant bands of unknown stars, lights dancing in space like luminous veils. But for anyone nearby for us, inhabitants of Earth, the consequences would be unpredictable. Earth, which has enjoyed admirable stability within the Milky Way for billions of years, could face an uncertain fate, subject to cosmic forces far beyond any human ability to control. What's fascinating, and for some disturbing, is that all of this is not a remote or theoretical possibility. It is a certain future on the scale of the universe, supported by observations, calculations, and models that clearly show how this approach is inevitable. And the even small variations observed in the masses of dark matter or in the structures of interstellar gas can further accelerate this cosmic dance. Faced with such a colossal scenario, I ask you if you could watch the spectacle of the collision of galaxies. Even knowing the risks for Earth, would you want to witness this unique moment in the history of the universe? Leave your answer in the comments, because we really want to know what you would do in the face of such a grand and terrifying event. Now that we understand the mechanics of this rapprochement and the invisible force that is driving our galaxy toward an inevitable encounter, it's time to dig even deeper. What exactly will happen during the collision? What will the direct impact on the solar system be like, and what could happen to our planet in this scenario? Get ready, because what comes next is even more impressive and surprising. Now that we understand the inevitable approach between the Milky Way and Andromeda, it's time to imagine, with all the details and drama that the moment deserves, what would really happen the moment these two cosmic giants finally meet. Get ready, because the scenery is both spectacular and terrifying, worthy of the greatest epics in the universe. When the collision begins, we will first see the distortion of the familiar contours of the two galaxies. The gravitational force will be so intense that the Milky Way's spiral arms will begin to stretch and contort as if they were being pulled by invisible hands. Andromeda, likewise, will begin to lose its elegant shape, being torn apart by our galaxy's relentless gravity. Entire arms filled with billions of stars will be ripped off and launched into the intergalactic void, creating rivers of light that will cross space like streams of lost stars. In this absolute chaos, individual stars, including our sun, will be deflected from their current orbits. Although the chance of a direct collision between stars is extremely small due to the vast distances that separate them, the warring gravitational field between the two galaxies will create a gravitational storm so violent that entire solar systems will be thrown into new, unpredictable trajectories. In the cores of galaxies, two of the most impressive monsters in the universe will meet supermassive black holes. At the center of the Milky Way lies Sagittarius A, a black hole with a mass equivalent to more than 4 million times that of our sun. In Andromeda, an even more colossal black hole awaits. As the galaxies merge, these two gravitational titans will be inexorably drawn towards each other in a slow but fatal dance. When these black holes collide, they will form a single, even more massive entity, releasing gravitational waves so powerful that they will travel throughout the universe, distorting the very fabric of space-time. These waves would be so intense that if we were close enough, we would feel space itself vibrate, as if the universe were breathing heavily for an instant. The fate of our solar system in this cosmic turmoil would be uncertain. The altered gravity could throw Earth out of the sun's habitable zone, freezing or setting our planet on fire. In an even more extreme scenario, we could be cast out of the newly formed galaxy, condemned to wander in the interstellar void forever, without a sun to warm us, without a starry sky to illuminate our nights. Even if Earth miraculously survived the gravitational storm, we would face new horrors. As the cosmic gas and dust shook violently during the collision, there would be a dramatic increase in the formation of new stars. But along with the stars would also come massive supernova explosions so powerful they could radiate lethal radiation in all directions. Intense radiation from these nearby supernovae could reach Earth, destroying the ozone layer, triggering climate catastrophes, and putting all life in danger. Deadly gamma rays could sterilize the planet's surface, wiping out entire ecosystems in a matter of hours. And it doesn't stop there. Even the most stable structures in the galaxy would be reshaped. The asteroid belts, filled with fragments of rock and ice, would be disrupted, launching thousands of objects on chaotic trajectories, many of them on a collision course with planets, including Earth. Imagine skies streaked with endless meteor showers, each impact potentially as devastating as the one that wiped out the dinosaurs some 65 million years ago. Furthermore, cosmic radiation from active black holes, now fueled by a flood of stellar material, could transform our night sky into a hellish spectacle of deadly glows, with jets of plasma traveling at speeds approaching that of light, cutting through space in lines of pure energy. Visualize, if you can, the Earth spinning beneath a sky where an entire second galaxy Andromeda rises on the horizon, shining brighter than the full moon, but at the same time knowing that this sublime vision is the harbinger of destructive forces, so beyond our understanding that we cannot even imagine a defense. As Earth orbits uncertainly amid this new cosmic chaos, continued gravitational changes would have devastating effects on the planet's tides, seasons, and even rotation. Days could become shorter or longer, seasons could disappear, transforming the climate into a state of constant instability with global storms and abrupt changes in temperature. It is important to emphasize that despite the low risk of direct impacts between celestial bodies, the indirect effects of this collision would be devastating. The real danger lies in the extreme radiation, gravitational disturbances, and cosmic instability that would follow. We wouldn't just be facing meteors, but a complete change in our space environment. And faced with this grand and terrifying panorama, an inevitable question arises. If we knew that the collision between galaxies would be accelerated and that destruction could happen within human existence, what would humanity do? Would we desperately seek to escape to another system? Would we accept our fate? Or would we try to build some form of cosmic shell to protect ourselves from the inevitable? Leave your opinion comments. We really want to know, faced with a threat from the cosmos itself, how do you believe we would react? Now, after viewing this epic collision in detail, prepare for some further reflection. Could the signs of this approach already be happening without us realizing it? In the next chapter, we'll explore the subtle but frightening clues that the Milky Way's collision with Andromeda may have already begun. After imagining the chaotic spectacle that will be the collision between the Milky Way and Andromeda, an even more disturbing question arises. What if the first signs of this cataclysm were already happening right now before our eyes, but went unnoticed by most people? Are we already experiencing the first chapters of a cosmic event that will forever change the destiny of our galaxy? The truth is that some of the most renowned astronomers in the world believe that the first signs of this fatal approach have already begun to appear. They come in subtle forms, almost imperceptible to those who just look at the starry sky without suitable instruments, but they are powerful evidence for those who know where to look. The first big sign is the change in Andromeda's approach speed. Observations made with space telescopes like Hubble have shown that the neighboring galaxy is not only moving toward us, but its speed appears to be adjusting over time. Initially, it was believed that it was approaching at a constant speed of approximately 400 kilometers per second, but more recent analyses have detected small variations in acceleration, possibly caused by gravitational interactions with other satellite galaxies or by the irregular distribution of dark matter that permeates intergalactic space. These changes, although minimal in absolute terms, are highly significant on a cosmic scale. They suggest that Andromeda's path may be more complex than we imagined, and that the collision, instead of being a distant and predictable event, may be subject to unpredictable fluctuations that could bring the moment of impact even closer. Another alarming sign comes from gravitational anomalies detected at the edges of our own galaxy. Astronomers identified deformed stellar streams, displaced star clusters, and matter flows that do not fit into traditional models of galaxy formation. These disturbances can be explained in part by the increasing influence of Andromeda's gravity as it approaches. Imagine that the Milky Way is a delicate disk, balanced by internal gravity. Now visualize a colossal force pulling on this disk in a subtle but constant way, changing the position of the stars, distorting entire spiral arms. It is unnecessary for Andromeda to be visibly close for its gravity to begin acting. The dance has begun silent, relentless. And there is more. Detectable changes in the structure of the Milky Way reinforce this thesis. Mapping carried out by the Gaia Space Telescope revealed that the disk of our galaxy is not static and flat as previously thought, but presents oscillations, ripples, and unexpected distortions. Some of these deformations appear to correspond exactly to regions that should be affected by Andromeda's gravitational approach. This evidence raises a frightening possibility. The collision between the Milky Way and Andromeda is not a distant future event awaiting its moment. It's a process that has already begun, silently shaping the destiny of our galaxy without most of us even realizing it. If these changes continue, we could witness even more dramatic effects in the next tens of millions of years, a blink of an eye on the scale of the universe. The Milky Way's outermost stars may already be experiencing significant disruptions to their orbits. Streams of stars can be pushed out of the galactic disk. Entire areas of the galaxy can begin to rotate at anomalous speeds, and eventually the center of the Milky Way itself may begin to move toward the inevitable encounter. Imagine this as we live our everyday lives, as centuries and civilizations follow one another on Earth. Above us in the vast depths of space, a colossal drama is already unfolding. A drama that, although invisible to the human eye, is clear as day to those who know where and how to observe. And this is exactly what leads us to a deep question. What if, as we look up at the stars tonight, we are unknowingly witnessing the first whispers of our own galaxy's destruction? This reflection is frightening and fascinating at the same time. Space, which we have always associated with eternal stability, now reveals itself as a field of forces in constant tension, ready to reshape everything we know. Given all this, we cannot help but ask, is there anything we could do as a civilization to prepare for the final impact? Or will we just be silent passengers in this inevitable spectacle? I want to know your opinion. Do you think humanity should invest more in space exploration technologies to escape future catastrophes like this? Or should we accept our destiny as part of the natural cycle of the universe? Leave your answer in the comments. We really want to know what you think about our future in the face of this silent cosmic collapse. And if you think these clues are already scary, get ready for what we're going to explore next. In the next chapter, we'll imagine what the sky would have looked like from Earth during the final stages of the collision in even more vivid detail. What would we see? What would it be like to watch the birth of a new galaxy while our world struggles to survive? Stay with me, because the journey through the galactic apocalypse has just begun. As we observe the first signs of this deadly cosmic dance between the Milky Way and Andromeda, an inevitable question begins to haunt our consciousness. Are we really ready to face a cosmic change of this magnitude? Do we truly understand what it means to inhabit an ever-changing universe, where even the largest structures, entire galaxies, can be destroyed and recreated in events that challenge our own understanding of time and space? So far, we've talked about approximations, about hidden signals, about possibilities that previously seemed reserved only for science fiction scripts. But what if human history is just beginning to change now silently before our eyes? What if we are living not just a moment of contemplation, but the first chapters of a transformation that no government, no space agency, no human power would be able to stop? The cosmos does not follow our calendars. He does not respect our expectations, our beliefs, or our fears. The universe moves at its own pace, on timescales that dwarf even the longest human eras. When we talk about billions of years of hundreds of millions of stars being rearranged like pieces of a cosmic puzzle, we are dealing with forces that are beyond our ability to control, but not beyond our ability to imagine. Imagine for a moment that at this very moment, the space around our galaxy is already beginning to fold, to distort, preparing the ground for the fatal encounter. Imagine invisible gravitational waves streaking across the void, preparing the foundations for inevitable collapse. The Earth, so small, so fragile, would continue its journey around the sun, seemingly undisturbed, while above it, the cosmic stage arms itself for a titanic battle that no living being could stop. What would you do if you knew with absolute certainty that our galaxy was about to collide with another? That our skies will be redesigned, that nights will no longer be as we know them, and that the future of the solar system could be cast into the abyss of interstellar space? Comment below, share your vision, your instinct. Would you try to escape? Would you look for a way to survive beyond Earth? Or would you accept cosmic destiny as part of the natural cycle of the universe? This is the type of reflection that few dare to make. We are so used to seeing the sky as something eternal, unchanging, that we forget that we are just passing travelers in a galaxy that could soon merge into something totally new and unknown. Future generations, if they still exist, may tell stories about the Milky Way as we tell stories today about ancient empires, legends of a time before a transformation so profound it redefined everything. If this video provoked in you the same sense of wonder and restlessness that moves explorers of the cosmos, then I invite you, leave your like now and subscribe to the channel. Join us on this journey into the unknown, where each new chapter reveals even deeper and more impressive mysteries about the universe we inhabit. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any new explorations, any new cosmic enigmas that may arise at any moment. And speaking of new mysteries, the next video, which is already appearing on your screen, will take you even deeper into the wonders and terrors of the cosmos. I guarantee it will be an even more impactful experience, a revelation that may change the way you see the night sky forever. Click and continue this journey, because the universe never stops and neither do we. Until then, Star Traveler, we find ourselves on the other side of the unknown.